Hey guys, so this might be a bit controversial, but I've been watching a lot lately in the news, a lot of what's going on with Trump now that he's in the presidency again in the US, and all of the mass deportation actions that are taking place, all of the, not necessarily riots, but all the people like marching and yelling and walking around saying that we stand with Mexicans. And I want you to listen to me before you start commenting and just try to see it from my point of view. And if you guys have any comments that you want to make, go ahead and make them. But I think it's very important to address, first of all, that I am a Mexican citizen. And I really don't understand why we, as Mexicans, just the Mexican community in the US, are fighting so hard to just bypass the government's laws. It really is frustrating to have a lot of people come into the US illegally and make the whole immigration process harder on everyone else that's trying to do things right, like me. In my case, I am married to a US citizen. We have done everything right. We have paid thousands of dollars for my immigration papers to be processed, and just applying for a residency and a green card and all these things that immigration does ask you to do in order to be legally in the US. And it is just mind-blowing to me that people do not understand that. I remember I saw a video that Rayleigh Gaines made, and I guess she's married and he does not have a green card yet. And it just made me realize when I read all the comments in that, in that video, people are just very hypocritical, because on one end it is all these people just rioting or going crazy on social media and making it a big deal by the fact that Trump is getting the people that are illegally in the country kicked back or sent back to Mexico or wherever they're coming from. And they're making it a big issue. They're making it this big thing. And then in the comment section, they are all saying, your husband needs to go back. I hope your husband gets kicked out, and they're attacking them. Meanwhile, that is just basically because they like Trump and they abide by the rules. And it's funny because if you like Trump and you agree with his terms and his, politics, then you're the one that should be kicked out. But you're doing everything legally. You're doing everything right. So that makes no sense. So in my case, just going back to my situation, it is very frustrating to see people just complaining about the fact that they need to go back to Mexico, that they need to go back to Cuba, Colombia, whatever these other countries are, and that they need to go back because they hold no legal status here. And meanwhile, people like me that are waiting months, like I'm almost a year into my immigration process just waiting. And people like me are just being attacked because we speak our minds. Like, it makes no sense. Like, honestly, I agree with Trump a lot. I hated the fact that Biden just let the border open and everyone and anyone could have come through the border in those months. There's about 20 million people that came in illegally. And that pisses me off, because meanwhile, I'm over here waiting.
This is actually a video from someone that understands and believes in Trump's policy. This particular lady you guys just watched her video now is actually condemning some of the actions of the immigrants. She's not just outrightly saying that the immigrants should not be allowed in the United States. They can be allowed to stay there, but if they should stay, they should try and stay legally to avoid issues, to avoid problems, to avoid chaos. That a lot of people are clamoring on that Trump should just leave the immigrants alone. But the question remains that all those people that came to the US or that are staying in US as immigrants, illegal immigrants, some of them might be thieves, some of them might not have good intention for the country. And also the safety of the people in the country is not guaranteed. She's from Mexico, and not that she's from US, you will not say that she is somehow speaking in favor of the US government. She is a Mexico lady. And she started it that she's just here to, she's not here to condemn whatever Trump is doing. That she supports what Trump is doing, but that angle of, immigrants, that people should also look in that direction. But she thinks he means well for the country. That's why he's doing whatever that he is doing. A whole lot of people commented in that video that she made, which she said that the comments, like, are people actually seeing what is happening before they even comment? Are they actually in the country? That is the question she is raising and she is asking. But I will leave you guys to keep watching. I'll come back later with my commentaries.
And spending so much money and so much time, and making sure that anything that I sent is not expired, and if anything of my paperwork that I already sent, any forms or anything is expired, I need to go ahead and resubmit that, and just waiting on immigration. But in the meantime, I'm just waiting and not doing anything other than waiting and respecting what the law says. And on the other hand, there's all these people coming through the border illegally. There's all these people flying to these amazing cities, getting so much cash, getting cell phones, getting housing, getting all these things. Like, that's just not fair. On the other hand, I do believe that if anyone's coming into a country, most importantly, the US is first world country. Like, you should be checked, and you should be, you should have a background check and know who you are if you've committed any crimes. Like, if you're not a good person, like, there's a reason why you couldn't apply for a visa, or there's a reason why you couldn't apply for, a permit to be here.
I think this is now between the immigrants and the US. Because you will see a lot of people coming out to support the immigrants and being against what Trump is doing. Then you will see some set of people coming out to support Trump and being against what the immigrants are doing. But let's just look at it in two different ways. These immigrants we are talking about, some of those people came into US undocumented. Some of these immigrants came into US without papers. Like, they came into this country without any source of, like, any papers to back up their stay in this country. And anything that happens in such country, that is, US country, that we know is a digitalized country, you won't be able to trace the culprits. You won't be able to trace that this is the person that did this or that. You understand? And if such person is documented, there is no way the person will fall or mess up or, try to indulge in any illegal stuff. And even if he or she indulges in illegal stuff, he or she will have it at the back of his or her mind that he will definitely be caught. He will definitely be held. You see all those things. Now, imagine in a situation whereby you are coming into US and you are documented. That at the thought of that you are documented, you just have to come into that country and respect yourself. You just have to come into that country and follow the due process, do the right thing, and make things work in that country. You won't just be there for, you are there sick, or you are just there for you to know what people would ask, you're just there to prove that you are in US. No, you are actually there because you want to be there, and you know the worth of you being there. You will just respect yourself. So in some way or the other, I think what Trump is doing in the US is actually good, at least to reduce the rate at which crime is being committed in that state.
And like, with that said, if you cross the border, like, you didn't have any permits, you didn't have anything that backed you up, you should go back, because this is not your place. And I get it, there is the American dream, and I've always heard about it, I've always thought about it. Like, of course, growing up in Mexico, like, it is a thing. The US is an amazing country, but that doesn't mean that just because it is an amazing country that has a lot of opportunities for everyone, that you can just get to take the opportunities from people that are doing the efforts to doing things right. That is just not fair. We're not cutting in front of the line, in front of people in line, just because. Like, I get it. People do it a lot of times because they want to pursue their dreams. They want to be able to provide for their families. Like, I understand that. I understand the why behind a lot of people's actions. Like, I do. But, it's just not right the way you guys are doing it. Like, why don't we go through the process? Let's all go through the process and make things easier for the ones that are actually doing things right. And another thing, that if you guys want to keep fighting and you guys want to comment nasty comments, like, you know, do as you feel led to. But something that I will say that really, really messes with my head is the fact that we are still thinking that the border crisis is not a big thing. Again, there were about 20 million people that we know of that came illegally through the border in the last couple of months. And I mean, there's 300,000 kids that were smuggled into the US, and we don't know where they are. If that is not an issue for you, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we disagree. We disagree a lot. Because it is not only about coming here legally, it is also about the fact that people should be safe. And I mean, I have no clue how many people die. I have no clue how many people are smuggled in. I have no clue how many people are being sex trafficked. You guys don't think about that when you guys think about the border, do you? I know it's all fun and games saying there is so much opportunity. You know, the land of opportunity is the US. I understand that. But let's also look at the whole picture. Let's not just focus on one specific thing, because there are hundreds of thousands of kids lost. We have no clue where they are. There's been a lot of drugs coming through. There's been a lot of people, bad people. This is not everyone, but there's been a lot of bad people coming into the US. And that's just scary. That's bottom line scary. So I just thought to give you guys my thoughts as a Mexican citizen. Those are my thoughts, and I just don't see anyone really talking about this. I don't see any one of my people speaking up, and if I get hate for it, it is what it is, but I know I'm not in the wrong, so just wanted to put it out there. But I love you all, and if you are being sent back, just try to apply for a residency the right way, and you still have the chance to figure it out and do things right and have legal status in the country. Just make an effort to doing things right, and if you want to pursue your dreams, go ahead, but don't try to bypass the laws in order to get your dream come true.